Right now, there is a phone within reach of your hand. You don't have to look, you already know where it is. And some quiet part of you is already wondering what's waiting on it, a message, a video, a number that went up. You feel the pull before you've decided anything at all. So you reach for it, again. You tell yourself it's a habit. Something about willpower, or boredom, or the modern world rotting your attention, but the real answer is far stranger. Your brain is not weak. It is doing exactly what it was built to do. It just thinks you're somewhere else. It thinks you're hunting. Go back, not a few years, hundreds of thousands of years to a body almost identical to yours, walking open land with one job that mattered more than any other. Find food. Find it before the light goes. And the search was rarely simple. Most of the time the bush was already stripped, the tracks led nowhere, the morning was wasted. Survival did not reward the ones who quit after the first empty bush. It rewarded the ones who kept looking. So evolution did something clever. It made the looking feel good. There is a chemical in your head called dopamine. You have heard it called the pleasure molecule. That is one of the most successful pieces of misinformation in science. Dopamine is not about pleasure. It is about the chase. The neuroscientist Wolfram Schultz recorded brain cells in animals as they learned to expect rewards. The dopamine did not spike when they got the reward. It spiked before, in the moment of anticipation, when the reward was still uncertain, still out there, still waiting to be found. And once the reward became predictable, the dopamine faded. Do you see what that means? Your brain does not fire for what you have. It fires for what you might get. The psychologist Jaak Panksepp called this the seeking system, the ancient circuit that fills an animal with restless energy and sends it out to forage and explore. It is not the feeling of the meal, it is the feeling of going to get the meal. For your ancestors, this was perfect. The world handed out its rewards unpredictably, so the seeking never switched off. The uncertainty was the engine. Now look down at the thing in your hand. When you open an app, you do not know what is waiting. Maybe nothing, maybe something wonderful. You pull, and the world hands you something, or nothing, and you cannot predict which. That is not an accident. That is a design. Decades ago, B.F. Skinner gave animals a single lever. When it fed them every time, they pressed only when hungry. But when the reward was random, they pressed it again and again, far past hunger, far past sense. The uncertainty itself had become the reward. He had found the most powerful schedule of motivation known to science. It is the same one living inside your screen. Pull to refresh, that is not a metaphor. It is a lever. So why can't you put it down? Because there is nothing to put down. Your brain is not holding a glass rectangle. It is holding an open landscape full of invisible rewards, scattered unpredictably, refilling every few seconds. And unlike your ancestors' forest, it never runs empty. It gets stranger. Robert Sapolsky, who has spent his life studying stress and behavior, points to one unsettling finding. When a reward comes only sometimes, when it is a maybe instead of a yes, the dopamine does not shrink. It grows. Your strongest craving is not for a sure thing. It is for the almost, which is exactly what every notification is. A maybe. So when you feel that tug in a quiet moment, you are not lazy. You are not broken. You are a superbly built forager, standing in a forest reverse engineered from your own instincts and aimed straight back at you. The hunger is real. It is just pointed at the wrong thing. Because at the end of your ancestors' hunt, there was a meal. At the end of the scroll, there is nothing your body can use. You hunt for hours and come home empty, and you can barely remember the hunt at all. So change what you reach for. Give the seeking somewhere real to go, a skill that gets harder, a person who is actually in the room, a problem that pushes back. The same circuit that traps you in the feed is the one that pulls you up a mountain. Seeking was never the enemy. It built everything you have ever made. The forest is not the problem. The only question is what you walk into it to find. Right now there is a phone within reach of your hand. But now you know what your brain thinks it truly is. A forest, dense with invisible rewards, refilling forever. And you, ancient and magnificent, still hunting.